Hello, everybody who is watching us today, live or in the replay. It's FRC, still 2011 season with 4 races to go. It's time to start the first ever South Korean Grand Prix in the history of the series. Well, we had such an interesting qualifying session. For example, Aditya Bagus uh, starting on P16 after making a mistake 2 times in a row on the flying laps. And again, it's going to be the Red Bull on the pole position, with Gabriel P1 guessing just 6,000th of a second slower than Yuri, starting on second position, and on P3 it's Abovich. Alongside him is going to be Smitler on P4, who is now the championship leader with the 22 points gap, ahead of Aditya Bagus. So yes, today the change in Drivers' Championship is possible, talking about the championship leader, if Aditya is going to win the race and Max is going to finish out outside the top 10, but I don't think it's going to be possible. But talking about Berta, yes, he has a huge chance to win the race. Um, as well, he's starting from second position, and he's going to be starting from the left side of the starting grid. So he's going to have the inside line into turn 1. But yeah, let's see what's going to happen, as now we're going to take a look at the full starting grid. And here we go for the tour on the starting grid. So it's going to be Yuri Gabriel starting from pole position, as I already said. Alongside him is going to be Berta Kieslin, then it's going to be Abovich and Smitler, Beethoven and Daniel Fraser, another McLaren Ferrari row. And then it's going to be Mercedes of Darbus Daniel, Santino driver in P8, Jake Dowsley having a superb qualifying for Sauber and finish and starting ahead of the teammate and inside the top 10. On P10 we have Rosetta Martinez, the fastest of Force India. And then it's Erika Hanevuse, Fernanda Tost. Also fantastic result for Williams on P12 and P14, as its switch chairman on P13, and another Williams of Alexander Arnold is starting behind the Renault. P15, superb qualifying by HRT Colin Chapman JR is starting ahead of the driver who is second in the championship, and this driver is Aditya Bagus. Uh, Outside the top 16, we have Jafari Blackwood, another but qualifying for Force India. As again, something goes wrong for them in the qualifyings. P18, Victor Aitken. P19, his teammate. P20 is going to be Lionel Messi. P21, HRT of Emil Nielsen. And P22 is going to be the Lotus of Adam Hidayat, sadly starting last in this race. Well, we're going to be starting really soon, but for now, yeah, let's just take a look at this. Beautiful or not, but yeah, let's take a look at this picture. Haha. Okay, now we're back, and that's the weather forecast. Finally, there is going to be a rainy session. This time is going to be the race with the rain falling down from these Korean skies onto the track. Well, anyways, it's time to begin. Okay, after taking a look at this loading screen of Singapore Grand Prix, I guess that the next season we're going to be having race-specific loading screens, but well, it does not matter now, as we're starting this race in extreme conditions, in the rain, as we have 5 lights, and we are going green. We're going green at South Korea at Yeongam, with Kiesa having a brilliant start, and as I've already said, he's going to have the inside line into turn 1. He has an opportunity to become the race leader, but now looks like the outside line is better when you're starting the race. Okay, Gabriel keeps the lead. Do we have any collisions there? Luckily we don't. Luckily we don't. That's a fantastic start. It looks like loss of speed for Wuchi Charmin, but let's take a look at the top 10 at least. Let's take a look at the top 10 at least. Max Meter is going to make it up into P2 or not, as here comes Beethoven to ruin the race for the Mercedes, and it's going to be it. And also ruining the race for both Mercedes drivers, as I see. Fantastic 1000 IQ move by Beethoven, and as a result is going to be McLaren taking the lead in the battle for the third position, the championship again. Yeah, 1000 IQ move by Beethoven. Abotion was down to up into second. Smithler is going to be on losing a lot of positions as now Bowish is struggling to overtake Max Spittler, as looks like the race leader is going to be pulling away from them. That's it or not? But anyways, what's about Max Smittler? He is now on P6, our championship leader, and now it's an opportunity for Aditya Bagus to finally do something in this battle. Meanwhile, he's struggling on P19. Even not a single position gained, but 3 positions lost at the start of the race. No, Daniel is actually continuing the race, but his race is going to be definitely ruined. Gabriel now has an at 12 seconds gap ahead of Aboish on second and Fraser on third. And it's Santin and Trail making it up into P4, fantastic by the Frenchman. Yuri Gabriel, the fastest lap of course, Black on P5, Arnold on P6 at Williams. Yes, he also had a brilliant start at Australia, it was also a rainy race, but we know how it happened, a collision with Aboic and the retirement for him. As he is now fighting with Jake Tilesley for the 6th position, as Jake goes round the inside into turn 1 and gets this P6. And Adam Hidayat, starting from P22, is now up to P8. Brilliant start with Nilsson on P9 and Erika Hanemusa on P10. Outside the top 10 we have Vucic Armin, Victor Aitken, Lionel Messi. Samitowska and Bagus finally getting P15, but only after the pit stops of drivers like Chapman, Martinez Tost, and Smidler, who's going to be starting it all over again. Yeah, he's going to be on P17. Daniel also makes it into the pits, so it's time to take a look at our start of the race. 5 lights as we're going green. I would like to take a look at the start from Smithers, POV, making it into P3 around the inside. Dive bomb for Nabovic. Nabovic is making it down to 4th, side by side Smeetler and Kiasin, making it up into 2nd for a while, but then is going to be a huge position loss for the driver from Wales. Kias around the outside, and here comes Baked Oven, probably our driver of the day. thank you, Baked, for helping us in the battle for the championship in this intrigue. I was really worried about it, but now you're making some good job for the intrigue in the race, but not for Max Miedler. As yes, it was a really dirty move of making a job not only for the drivers like Bagus, but no, actually only for Bagus, as Kiesin is also retiring. Yes. So we're not going to have the new championship leader because of Beethoven, his brilliant move, and probably he made a collision with Darabas Daniel, and it was his fault. And actually it was. So as a result, Beethoven is trying to help Mercedes, I guess. Not only McLaren to get P3 in the championship, but also for Mercedes, as they're fighting for the uh, what am I saying? Yeah, but he was also trying to help Berta Kiesin, I guess, to make it into the championship lead. No, that's a bullshit I've said. But okay. So yeah, that's it. And Daniel most likely has ruined the race. And look at this debris. Look at this debris. And that's how Jafari has got another bad luck there. The straight where it was impossible to see anything. Or it was not him. No, it was Rosetta Martinez. Sorry. Sorry. And then he's made a collision with Fernando Tost, who had a nice start actually. Yes, another terrible luck for Force India, and also Hidayat. And it was Erika Hanebusa. Also spinning around and losing a lot of time, but luckily there was no damage for her, unlike other drivers, like. And look how Daniel was trying to continue his battle in Lewis Hamilton style, like at Imola 2021. But these were a bit different situations. Yeah, looks like he was also checking his teammate if he's alright. And Berta is fine. Also, what's happened to Max? Yeah, that rear wing lost. Been overtaken by almost everybody. Anything else? Colin Chapman has lost the front wing. He was on P9. But here he's going to lose it. And Adam Hidayat is going to be inside the top 10. Okay, don't have anything else. Looks like nothing, only Bagos making it into P15, overtaking all the drivers with the damage. So that's it, and the gap is 11.5 seconds between the race leaders. Already 12 seconds. So that's it. What about our championship contenders? Max Miedler all the way down on P17. Berta Kiesin is out of the race, and the Aditya Bagos is struggling to overtake the Toros of Sametoskan. That's it, and looks like the only driver who is going to get an advantage is going to be Abobovic, who is now virtually getting 18 points. But he's still going to be on P4 in the championship, but the guy behind him on P5 is Yuri Gabriel, and Terry Kalibani Hanebusa is in the wall. Sadly, it was a great qualifying session for her, almost making it into Q3. But yeah, looks like there was a mistake as she has lost the rear end, and as a result, she has ended up in the wall. such a high-speed crash, as in this situation she was as the passenger. She was unable to do anything, as it's very difficult to stop the car in such a speed. So yeah, talking about the driver on P5, it's Yuri Gabriel, who is now leading the race. So basically, Abu is not going to stay on P4, but can be overtaken by Yuri Gabriel. But what about the driver on P6? It's Daniel Fraser. It's Daniel Fraser who is now on P3. So P4, P5, P6 in the championship is now P1, P2, P3 in the race. And also look at this comeback by Santino Andreoli, who's now on P4. And I made a mistake in qualifying, saying that Renault is not able to fight for the pole position, and as a result, Santina was on P5 uh, for a moment. Bagus gets past Oskan finally and moves up to P13. So what about the race progression? Here it is: 14 positions gained by Hidayat and 12 positions gained by Nielsen, who's now on P9, and Blackwood, who is now on P5. Other drivers have gained like 7 positions as Arnold, 4 positions as Andreoli, and 3 positions gained by Fraser, Tylesley, and Armin, and also 1 position gained by Aboish, who has started from 3rd. Okay, the only driver who has not won any positions, and also who has not lost any, is Yuri Gabriel, who is leading the race from the start of the session. And now he's starting the lap number 4, absolutely dominating this race after such an accident on sector 1. Of course, Yuri says the fastest lap, and now there's an opportunity to Daniel Fraser to overtake Abovich. They're also, as I already said, fighting for the 3rd position in the championship. Yes, Daniel is 9 points behind Aboba. Do we have any other battles? Arnold is still trying to defend from Hidayat, and looks like the Lotus is really fast here with an Indonesian driver in the cockpit. Bagus gets past Messi, Bagus gets past Messi. That's really close to the wall for Adam Hidayat as he keeps the car on track. But sadly he does not overtake Arnold. Okay, I guess we can take a look at Bagus as he overtook the car into turn 1. Yeah, of course, Red Bull and Lotus fighting into turn 1. With a great high speed, who is going to win the battle? Of course, it's going to be Red Bull. And looks like something is wrong with Messi. No, it's not, but just Lotus. It's just Lotus. Probably he just ran wide or had a bad exit. For some reason he was just trying to get the inside line right at the exit of the corner, as a result losing a lot of time and losing a position not just for Red Bull but for Toro Rosso of Summit Oscar. Yeah, such an interesting start, but we still have like 35 laps to go, even more. We don't have anything extraordinary interesting. But the race is still better than the Singapore Grand Prix. At least there are some overtakes. And not all of them are into turn 1. Martinez gets past Toast. And also Chapman is losing position to Max Mietler, who is starting his come back in this race. Was it an overtake into the chicanes? Let's take a look. I guess it was turn 1. And of course it was. Tostan Martinez fighting, and looks like they have made a slight touch, not that slide, but still that counts as a contact. And Rosetta is now up into P17. Yeah, nice overtake by Rosette, but counting that it was an overtake on Williams, he surely could have done much better. And also counting that they made a contact, it doesn't matter. Dane Fraser is still behind Abovich, 1 second behind. And talking about the weather, as we saw at the start of the race, looking at the weather forecast, the rain is going to continue until the end of the race. So we're not going to have any changing conditions, like drivers changing tires from wets to intermediates, from intermediates to slicks. It is not going to happen. And look how much water is there on the track. Just a lot. Martinez gets past Chapman. And I guess we can just take a look at the replay because we have nothing to do but just watch the replays of the overtakes. Yeah, this time at least it was clear overtake, unlike the last time on Williams. Coming into the chicanes, I don't know how to call them, so I'll call them the chicanes. So yeah, Bouch and Fraser, yes. The British Ferrari driver is really close to the McLaren for like 3 laps straight. Let's see if there is going to be an overtake into turn 1, because again, turn 1 is the main overtaking spot on almost every track. So here comes Dane Fraser and they collide. Losing a bit of time, run outside is Abovich, but yeah, this overtake counts, and the mistake on the exit of the first corner. Abovich is now losing much more time as Daniel's pulling away from him, and Santina is getting closer. Are we going to see another Renault podium, as we have seen it at Turkey in 2010 by Yulia Alexeyev? Well, let's see, let's see. No, actually it was turn 2 where Abovich has made a mistake. So, my bad. Yes, I said most of the tracks have turn 1 as the main overtaking spot, but at South Korea I guess we can also count the third corner after the longest straight of the track. Bagus is now up into P11, and he makes the move where, of course, into turn 1. Well done by DTS, he has a great pace today, but Max is still struggling, as he's now on P15. Probably he is just, yeah, nobody behind, he has a lot of fresh air, so yes, he'll get closer to the drivers ahead really soon, but look at the gap, 30 seconds. As these drivers we're not have not made it into the pits yet. And by the way, talking about the strategy, as it was in the last race, where Max Mittler was leading for more than half of the race, and then making a mistake by the strategist, ruining the race for Daniel Fraser. Then Max Mittler pitting quite late, and as a result losing not just the win but also finishing on 4th position, so it's not even a podium. And now they're making such an interesting strategy call. While everybody who has speed already to change the parts of the car, to fix the car, so they have about 9 liters of fuel, almost everybody. Rosetta Martinez, Colin Chapman, Fernando Tost, and Darabas Daniel. What about Ferrari? They decided to add max 20 or even 25 liters of fuel. So that's going to be interesting, as we have another yellow flag. It's Aditya Bagos out of the race, come on! Come on! Just no. I thought that he would even make it up into P5. No, I'm not his fan, but I'm just really worried about the conditions of the championship battle, which is currently just dying. I thought, finally, we can have Aditya like in 10, maybe 15, 10 points behind Max Mittler, but no, here come the drivers of Williams and HRT, and that was a great HRT master plan. Looks like the Spaniards don't want the Austrian, the driver from Austrian team to win, and that's it. That's it. And also it's going to be Emil Nielsen retiring. And that's main pain for the HRT fans.
Watch out for debris.
Okay, let's continue. So, and also here comes Max Mitter, who already knows that Aditya is retiring after having a collision with the HRT, and now he is up into P13, so his objective in the race is becoming easier and easier. Let's take a look at the gap between him and Messi. Let's just take a look at it when it's going to be displayed. I guess it's going to be displayed in like 10 seconds. So let's just wait. He's still on P13, really close to the top 10. He has the best car on the grid. And it's going to be 26 seconds. 5 seconds gained during the last 3 laps. So basically, in 15 laps time, when everybody's already going to be pitting, he's going to be probably inside the top 5. Why not? Because everybody has about 6-8 liters of fuel, only Jafari has 16. Still yellow flags into turn 3. As we see this Red Bull car without the rear left tire. Fraser and Dabovic came through the 3rd corner. Andrea is still P4 and Blackwood on P5. And looks like he's going for a pit stop strategy. Armin's up to P8, Haitkin P9, Oscar P10, Messi P11 and Arnold P12. Here they come into turn 3. And something has happened to Arnold, probably just a mistake. As he has collided with Vucic Armin in the battle for P8 with the random driver. And again he was trying to make it in on the left side of the road, and yeah, he has almost taken away Victor Aitken in this race. That was pretty close and pretty dangerous also. So now Arnold is going to be on P12, losing 4 positions in just 3 corners. Here comes Smeatler, just a bit slower, 28 seconds behind Arnold now. Messi gets past Arnold, as we have already seen it. And what about the pit stops? Again, inside the top 10, looks like the pit stops are going to be starting in 4 or 5 laps. As we see above, she's going to start the lap 9 with just 5 liters of fuel. Let's see if he is going to pit or not, but I think that 90% he's going to stay out. The same for Adam Hidet, who is most likely going for another cut to keep the position number 7 in this race, but look at the gap, it's 8 seconds ahead, it's Stylesley, and almost 7 seconds behind, well, 6 seconds behind is Vucichargan. So nobody ahead, nobody behind, why not to pit quite early? Yeah, probably there's going to be traffic for him, but we still don't know if it's going to happen or not. Only 17 cars after 8 laps of racing. All of them were because of the collisions, because of the crashes. And nobody is pitting now. Still yellow flags into the third corner. Let's look at this huge run-out zone. And yeah, that's really difficult for the marshals to push the cars for more than 100, for I don't know how many meters are there, so yeah, for just a huge distance. Mercy is on P11, points possible for Lotus, or not possible. And finally, the green flags on Sector 1, as we're continuing the racing. Here comes Abovich, completing the lap, and I guess he's not going to be pitting. Is he? Is he? No, he is not. He's staying out, the same as probably Adam Hidayat. Let's check Max and how he's doing again, and it's a failure for Alexander Arnold. Another free position gained for Max Miedler. What's happened to Arnold? Another terrible luck for him in this race. From P8 to P12 in just 3, even 2 corners. And then a fire. A huge fire. And he should pit, but he does not, as he wants to go some yellow flags to make the racing at Korea even more interesting. Yeah, it's actually nice, but talking about the danger, you should have made it into the pits, considering the smoke behind your car. And now he is using the pit lane exit, and he's almost took Smeatler off. Well done, and I would say that Max was born in a shirt. Yeah, that's some Russian idiom I said for no reason, but yeah. Oh, what have you done? What have you done? Let's take a look at the replay of this idiocy, I would say, from the Williams driver. What was he doing? That was really close between him and Ferrari. Luckily, Max has realized him quite fast. Rosetta Martinez and the wheel here, and I guess Arnold has to be penalized for that. That's really unsafe, that's really dangerous. So what's happened to Colin Chapman? And then crashing straight into the wall. What about the other drivers? Toss has got lucky, Daniel has not. Well done, well done. And I guess it's going to be the Canada 2010 incident once again. It was Yulia Alexeyev, if I'm not mistaken. But the straight at Montreal was uh, much shorter, of course. It was not the main straight. But yes, Yuri Gabriel avoiding all the debris here and staying in the lead of the race with now a 15 seconds gap. And we're going to have the pit stops, not the mandatory ones, but these drivers still had to pit. So let's call it another cut, but with the time being lost because of the damage. But luck for Rosetta, what should I say? And looks like only Rosetta is pitting, as other drivers who made a contact with the debris. Fantastic. So yeah, they have already retired. And yes, one of them was Darabas Daniel, so the baked oven master plan still works. Looks like it's going to be the first lapped driver incoming. 6 seconds piece of Rosetta. And yes, looks like these are going to be the blue flags for him. Here comes Yuri Gabriel, please don't make a contact. Please don't make a contact. Side by side still, but Rosetta has to leave some space. All the time you have to leave the space! Oh, what are you doing? At least Yuri is still ahead, but he's going to lose like 2 or 3 seconds of his lead, and yeah, now it's 11.5 seconds. And Apomovich is going to be pitting this lap. The same as Adam Hidayat. Who is now on P7 after his brilliant comeback, starting last, and now he's on P7 with 15 positions gained from the start of the race. What about other drivers? They are staying out. S. Miller is now on P12. And we have only 13 drivers. Sorry, 14, as Martinez has got overtaken by for more than a lap. Yeah. So let's see about just completing the middle sector. As he still has a nice pace, being 0.3 of a second faster on sector 1 than his personal best, but of course he has to pit. And looks like Gabriel is still losing time. As now from 11.5 it's 10.9 between Gabriel and Fraser. Abush comes into the pits, and it's going to be the first mandatory pit stop. 5 seconds, not bad. But looks like he's going to be on P6 or even P7. Hirat is also in the pits. But yeah, now let's take a look at Abovich for a moment. Saboba is going to be on P6. Or not. Or not. For now, also 5 seconds. Which Charmin is going to overtake Abovich or not? Is he going to do that? Looks like he is not, but he's still on the outside line. Abovich down the inside and he keeps the 6th position. Smither is going to be on P11, up into P11 with Hirat on P12. And it looks like it was such an interesting strategy, as he is going to be beaten on lap 30. Toss is also beaten. We forgot about him. Sorry, Fernanda. And this driver has already nothing to lose. He's on P13. As our race leader, Yuri Gabriel is beaten with Daniel Fraser, so Santino Andreoli is going to take the lead in the race. This race is already fantastic as we have Renault leading the race. Or not. Or yes, or not. Anyways, let's see, as we have Fraser. Yeah, but we still have Renault on the podium places. So that's fantastic. Fraser, only 6 seconds. Only 6 seconds. And it's going to be Santino Andreoli into the lead. Congratulations to the Frenchman. Also Tilsley on P3 with Blackwood on P4. Yeah, I know they have to pit, but at least that looks beautiful. But Jafari does not have to do that, as he's on P4 with 10 more liters of fuel. Fraser is going to be on P5, ahead of Abovich. And Darwin staying on P7. Oscar is going for a move for his teammate, but it does not work. Now Lionel Messi is on P10. Smith are still on P11, and the drivers who are going to be beating this lap is going to be Santino Andreoli, leading the race for 1 lap. But still, that was beautiful by the Renault driver, and Santino has to pit. Okay, Yuri is going to take the lead in the race again, and Jake Delsley is also pitting this lap. So feel free to screenshot, as this picture goes so hard. Andreoli Gabriel Tilsley. Beautiful. Then Blackwood was on P4 and Fraser P5. So basically only Andreoli and Tilsley are going to pit inside the top 5, but outside it is going to be also Oscar and Messi. So Max Miller is going to get P10, and he's going to extend his championship lead. Okay, let's get back to our race leader, Santino Andreoli P10. That was a fantastic comeback, more like a fantastic start of the race, moving up into 4th position with all these collisions into turn 3. Let's see. And there's going to be 5.9 seconds piece of and also being held up in the pits by Jake Tilsley. A bit bad luck here, but not so many time lost. Not so much time lost. Santino is now going to be on P7. Tilsley P8, 6.8, even slower than Andreoli. Samet and Lionel are also in the pits. Probably some problems. Nice. Lionel Messi is held up. Yes. 6.6 by Lotus and 4.9 by Toros. One of the fastest pit stops of the race. So yeah, what about the drivers? So Hirat is going to get up into P10 again. Oscan P11 and Messi P12. Any drivers beating this lap? I guess no. So the next driver who's going to be beaten is going to be Vucic Armin, who is now on P5. 18 gets past Andreoli, Smithro gets past Tilsley. Interesting, interesting, interesting. And yeah, it was on the pit exit, so nothing interesting. Bruh. Okay, let's continue. Um, well, Akin is right behind Armin, and it's going to be the battle for P5 incoming. Already trying to do something into turn 1, but unsuccessfully. There is going to be a long straight, but that was not the best turn to exit by the Torosso driver. Okay, before the battle starts, what about some advertisements? I guess you missed them. Surely you did not. We were putting, actually I am putting advertisements just to keep talking, or the race is going to be even more boring, especially when I'm commentating. Yeah. So we are trying to find some commentators for this series, not only for F1 but for Formula Renault, of course, for Renault Racing Championship. So if you want to become a commentator and commentate all the races, feel free to contact us on Discord. The link is as always in the description to this video, to the stream, or to any other video on the channel, uh, except the old videos from a different offline championship. I guess you can also check them, because why not? Well, Yuri Gabriel says the fastest lap of the race. Um, and also, we usually start the races at 6 PM GMT plus 3, or sometimes we change the time. Usually I change the time, so yes. Not to miss anything if you're really interested in the championship. And if you have time to watch it, or if you don't have a time to watch it, you can also click the bell near our YouTube channel. So we will keep growing our community. Or not. So anyways, there is going to be there are going to be sign-ups starting really soon. So you can also join the championship if you have not done it already. And also we have got an idea to create a wiki for this championship, so yes, if you know how it works, how to do that, I guess you can also contact Rus Pro on Discord. You can find me in on the server. Uh, so we can create a wiki together, because I don't really know how to do that and what to do with all this. For example, yeah. I know nothing about it. So, there's still a battle for P5. I don't think I can call it a battle, but we're getting closer to the second half of the race. Already, it's lap 18. As we have Fraser having a battle with Jafari Blackwood, who's made it up into P3. And Fraser, of course, gets past the Force India driver. That's interesting, actually. Probably I missed it. But yes, he was on the second position. And I've just remembered that he has got one piece of strategy. Yeah, now let's take a look at the replay once again. As Daniel Fraser has made a move on the Force India. Here Jafar is still on P3, so he has nothing to worry about. He's going to be pitting on 5 laps or even 4 laps time. So yes, he is one of these drivers who has, maybe does not have a one piece of strategy. Because we still don't know, the strategies are quite unpredictable. Maybe he's going to have 2 more stints, like a long stint is the current one, and then 2 short stints. Maybe, but it's not the winning tactics. Well, on the podium right now we have Renault power unit, Ferrari power unit, and Mercedes power unit. Even if there is no McLaren, no Mercedes on the podium, Yuri Gabriel runs wide. Oh, he's losing even more time, but luckily it's not a mechanical failure, but still probably a couple of seconds lost. It was 13.6 seconds between the leaders after the second sector, as here comes Daniel Fraser down the main straight, and from 13 seconds it's going to be 5 seconds. 10 seconds lost, it's like a time penalty. So yeah, let's just take a look at the replay to check it out what's happened here as he has spun. There was something like accident with Erica. It does not really look quite similar, but at least Yuri Gabriel has continued his way for the win of the South Korean Grand Prix. Yeah, that was a spin by him. But likely he stayed on the first position. And he still keeps more than a 5 seconds gap. Yellow flag, and now it's out of Hidayat. Today is the most dramatic day in the of the season, I think. First it was Bagos, then it was Daniel, I think. I don't remember quite well, bruh. So yeah, let's take a look at the replay. It was an Erika Hanebusa moment, or not? No, it was another mechanical failure, and it was a failure of the engine. Sadly, for the Indonesian, I was hoping for some points for him, but... Well, sadly that's over, and now we have only 13 drivers racing for the win, or at least 4 points. And Max has now even better chances to extend his lead and to stay inside the top 10. Yeah, Armin's going to be pitting next, or I guess Vucic is going to be pitting in 2 laps, or even on the next lap. Well, let's see. Andreol is now behind 8ken, as there is an intense battle for P6. Luckily there is going to be no contact between them or no crash, because we don't want This I don't want less than 10 drivers to finish the race. V8 can runs a bit wide, uh, but he's staying on P6, so everything is nice for him, but not for Santina, who was hoping for a bigger mistake, probably to retake, or just to take the 6th position in the race. It looks like Santina had a terrible second sector. Taking a look at the split times, but he of course he has more fuel, so his car is a bit heavier. But now he has like 70% chance to overtake V8 can in turn 1. It's going to be an easy overtake, I think, or not. Let's see, hopefully they're not going to collide, and Santina does not have enough power, or does he? Round the inside he comes, and it's him still going side by side. V8 can make the mistake into turn 2 and losing the position to Santina is P5, P6 for Renault. Yeah, which is going to be pitching the next lap. As here comes Abovovich in the battle with Jafari Blackwood. I guess now we can take a look at the pit stops, as at the drivers who were not pitting in this race are Jafari Blackwood, Vucic Arman and Victor Aitken. All these drivers had no pit stops. Other drivers had one pit stop, except Rosetta Martinez and Fernando Tost, who are now running on the last positions, on P12 and P13. Well, 18 is down to P7. Even less points for Toro Rosso. We know that they could scored a lot of points at Monza, but only one driver has scored some points. And this driver, of course, was Samit Oskan. V8 has retired. Then it was the Singapore Grand Prix. Also, a lot of points would happen for them, but what happened? Victor Aitken has retired. Now Victor has another chance to score huge points for the team, and I hope he is not going to retire. Well, let's see, as Max Mitra is getting closer and closer to him. And Abuchi is still on P3. Blackwood... Actually, wait a minute. No, he is still... Okay, wait. Oh, come on. Where is this moment? Yeah, there was an overtake by Jeffrey Blackwood on Abovich there. After Abovich has taken P3 for a couple of seconds. And Jafari is back on the 3rd position. That was nice. Of the drive from Jamaica. And now there was another overtake by Abovich, but this time there is going to be... but this time Jafari is not going to be battling back with the Russian. Well, here we have two Renaults fighting, but I guess the best decision is the team orders, as Vucic is still going to be pitting this lap, not to hold Santina up. Well, and is Vucic going to be the only one pitting? Yes, he is. It looks like the rain has got a bit lighter. Okay, Santi is trying to overtake his teammate, but yeah, it's quite difficult. Because of the wet track, probably. And because probably Vucic is just too slow to be overtaken. But yes, here comes Armin into the pits. As Santina is going to get slipstream. But no, he was too slow. Smithler is up to P7, but he is going to be pitting. What about Vucic? And 5.2, not bad. No, he's still gonna be inside top 10, I think. Well, let's see. As we have the Renault and Lotus fighting for P10, probably. Yes, Lena is going to be quite close, but it's not going to be enough to make it into top 10 once again, or they are coming side by side and it's going to be Lena Messi to P10. No, I was wrong, I was wrong. Well, the drivers beaten now are Jafari Blackwood, who is now on P4, Max Miller, who is now on P7, and that's all. What about Max? How are you doing, mate? And looks like he's doing fine, as now he's on P7, but still struggling to overtake Toro. Still still a bit less than a half of the race to go, as it's lap 22:41. We do a little trolling moment by Victor Aitken. But yeah, Jafar is now in the pits for being inside the top 3 for a huge amount of time, but now it's time to make the pit stop for the first time in the race. And he's going until the end. He's going until the end. Great tactics by Force India, and also good tactics by Ferrari. Yeah, Max has two pit stop strategy, but the first pit stop was because of the damage he has got on the corner, the third corner accident. And now Max is going to be behind Lionel Messi. Yes, he is. As they're side by side here, I don't know if I can say that they were side by side the main straight, but yet at least they were really close. 4.6, brilliant piece by Ferrari, and Max is outside the top 10 again. But what about the drivers? Lionel Messi is still going to beat, like Oscar, Telsley, Aitken, who is pitting now, also Andreoli, Avovic, Fraser, and the race leader, of course, Yuri Gabriel. Victor still does a little. Okay, Aitken is still P5. And yeah, he's struggling with the tires again. Like it's Singapore, but this time the train is Beatles. Beatles, okay. Is a little small. Is. Screw it. So now there is a train of just two drivers, Victor Aitken and Jake Telsley. As Victor is beaten. Jake is up into 5th place, but he still has to pit. But at least when he's going to rejoin the track, he's going to be ahead of Victor Aitken, I think, or not. Yeah, that's my prediction. Well, Let's see if it's going to be a fast pit stop. 4.7. Again, one of the fastest pit stops of the race. I guess the fastest was by Ferrari, 4.6 for Smittler. Aitken is still on P10, and yes, he is going to be on P11. This is overtaken by Max Smittler. So, welcome back to top 10, Max. What about the next driver who's going to pit? What about him? Who is he? And actually, let's see. And it's going to be Abovich, Telsley, and that's all I think. And here comes Wuchi Charmin and Lionel Messi, battle for P8. Yeah, Lionel's going to be beaten quite shortly. And it's a position again for Vucic. Max is also going to make it up to P9. And probably it's going to happen right at the straight. Yes, it happens. And probably Messi is going to be going for an overtake. Probably as he's dive bombing into turn 3. And he keeps the ninth position in the race. But here comes Max Mietler, who had a better turn 3 exit. But they're still side by side. Lionel Messi sadly cannot do anything, but I guess it was one of the most beautiful battles in the race, considering that it was a battle between Ferrari and Lotus. Usually these battles are taking place for like one corner or just a main straight, and usually it's an easy overtake for the driver with the better car. But look at this, look at this. Here they come side by side down the main straight. Max makes it up into P9. Lionel does not give up, going for a dive bomb. Round 8 side he comes, and he is still in P9. You think it's over? No, it's not. Max Peter gets the slipstream behind the Lotus, gets past Lionel. We still have hope, at least I still have hope that Lionel can get the position back, but no. Max is outbreaking his rival, and now he fully deserves this 9th position after this battle. What about the pit stop? Saboch is going to be pitting, as Andreoli is going to be pitting too, but a bit later. The save for Jake Tasley, I think, as he crosses the line, and yes, he's going to be pitting. Blackwood is staying out, Oscar is staying out, and also Lionel Messi, who's on P10, is also going to be pitting. So the drivers are Abovich, Tasley, and Messi. Santino is going to be on P3 again, but it's nothing compared to his race lead for a lap, but still, that's something. It looks like every time a Boba is pitting, he sets the personal best on the first sector. I would like to say on the first two sectors, but on the middle sector he was half of the second slower, so not the best sector. And now he's going to be pitting. And let's see where he's going to join the track. Probably it's going to be P4. Probably it's going to be a lower position like P5. Not sure about P6 though, but let's see. Episode for Russia for the 2010 World Champion. 6.6, not the best pit stop. The normal pit stops, not the slow ones, are about 4.6 is the fastest pit stop, of course, to 5 seconds. But Boba had a pit stop for just 6.6 seconds. Das is also in the pits, he's losing his 5th position. As no, Blackwood is not going to take Abovic. Oscar up to P6, else is going to be on P8. Or even P9, as here comes Max Mittler and Vucic Armin. Side by side, and probably there's going to be a three-way battle. No, there is not. Dusty 5.3, a bit slow on the exit, I thought. But that was just the camera angle. Mittler up to P7, Armin P8, then Aitken and Tysley. Even behind Victor, he rejoins the track. Lionel Messi in the pits 5.4. He's going to be on P12, I think. Yeah, I think he is. P12 for him. As it's Yuri Gabriel in the pits. Danny Fraser is going to be pitting next lap. So let's see what's going to happen. Our race leader is going to be pitting. 5.2, not bad. At least not like above speed stop of 6.6. But it's going to be P3 for him or not. No, it's going to be P2. It's going to be P2 for the Brazilian. And that's a nice pit stop. Not going to be a race lead for Andreoli again, sadly. But P3 is still something. Probably he's gonna be in the second position when Fraser pits. So let's see, Oscar is also pitting. So Smithler is up into 6th position. As finally the Ferrari strategists have learned what strategy does in the race. And of course, what does this word mean? Armin up into 7th because of Oscar's pit stop. Oscar is going to be on P10, not outside the point zone. But yeah, 5 seconds pit stop, not bad. And I guess that the Korean pit lane is one of the longest in the calendar. Also counting this long pit exit, and usually the driver spends about 50 seconds in the pit lane for each pit stop. Fraser is pitting, Fraser is pitting. So Gabriel's going to be leading the race once again. But of course we're watching for Toast. Yes. 5.3 by Toast and 4.9 by Ferrari, not bad. The pit stop was less than 5 seconds, so it can be called a not just good, a great pit stop. Gabriel's going to be leading the race again, and Santin is going to be on P3 even if he's beating this lap. Who's going to be also pitting, and he's going to do that right now, is going to be only Santina Andreoli. I guess he's the only driver who has to pit now, and actually he is. So it's going to be the last mandatory piece of the race. Martinez gets past Toast in the battle for P12. Not even a battle. Yes, it was not a battle. Just a pit stop by the Williams. We have about 12 laps remaining, even less than 12 laps. Eleven and a half, I would say. So it's still just a third part of the race being finished. Yeah, looks like everything in Korea is long. The pit lane exit is long, the whole pit lane is long, the first sector is long, the straight before the third corner is also long. And I guess something else is long, but I don't remember. Yeah. The fastest lap by Yuri Gabriel. It's the lap of 155.999. Interesting combination of numbers. As the second fastest lap is by Max Meter, 156.415. So basically it's more than 4/10 of a second slower. And also Yuri has fresher tires, and he has a lot of fresh air. He's not battling anyone. Maybe just backpackers of the race. Santina is beating, I forgot about it, 4.8, and he's going to be on P6. Or in P7. No, it's gonna be P6. But Vucic... Yes, he's still going to be behind the teammate. And Aiken P8, and Dusty P9, and Oscar P10. Messi only P11. I guess there are going to be no points for Lotus today. But at least Adam Hider was looking really good. And Messi was on P10 for P7. Yeah. When you combine the words 10 and 11, it's going to be Devon. Great. He was on P11 for a long time. Also, he was in the top 10. Also for for a big amount of laps. But at least he is going to be finishing ahead of Fernando Tost and maybe also Rosetta Martinez. Gabriel starts the 31st lap of the race, so we have 11 laps to go. Do we have any battles? No, we don't, but... Well, yes, but actually no. Aitken and Tasley are quite close to each other, because they're completing the middle sector, and here the Toros driver was faster than the driver for Zaber. And he was faster by a tenth of a second. They're completing the lap. But yes, Chelsea is too far away to even catch the slipstream. And he's staying on P9 behind Toro Rosso. Not this Toro Rosso, but this Toro Rosso. And he cannot do anything even on the straight after the second corner. But he tries to do something good for a dive bomb. Too close. But That was a nice try, but as a result he has lost a bit of time. So he's still on P9, just and he's uh, yeah, like a second behind Aitken. Gabriel starts lap number 32, it's 10 laps to go. As Dave Fraser gets past Toast around the outside, it was not the battle for the position, it was just a blue flag moment. And we have a yellow flag and it's Max Miller spinning! Max Miller spinning! The drama continues for Ferrari. He could have scored 10 points today, but as a result he is going to be still on P9. He changed the track quite carefully, and that was the same what has happened to Yuri Gabriel in the first half of the race. A mistake here, probably, yes, braking too hard here on the wet track in these conditions, also looking up the front tires, losing the rear end, and spinning around. If Yuri Gabriel has lost here like 10 seconds because there was somebody ahead or behind of him, but this time Max is losing around 20 seconds. That's it, and instead of P9, sorry, and instead of P5 he's going to get P9. But is he going to finish like that, or he's going to gain some positions? Let's see, the gap between Tesla and Smitler is 5 seconds. And he has 10 laps to go. It's about a quarter of a race. Because talking about the laps, there's just 41 lap. But the laps are really long, especially the first sector, which is which can be completed by 50 seconds. It looks like the battle between Aitken and Tassi continues, but this time it's going to be a battle for P7, not P8. Because of the mistake of the Ferrari driver and the championship leader at the same time, Max Smitler. After this race, we're going to have just 3 races to go. 2 of them are going to be at Asia and 1 of them at South America. Again, I'll repeat it because I just have nothing to talk about, only the battle between Aitken and Tansley. But yeah, Tansley has another bad corner exit here, but he cannot get closer to Victor. Or he can, probably, because of the dive bomb. Probably. No, he's not even trying it. So yes, the next race is going to be at India. It's going to be the race at Buddha International Circuit. As we have Tassie finally going for a move, but this time around the outside. No, that's not how it was supposed to work. So yeah, and also the same weekend, there are going to be races at India and the Czech Republic, as Brno is going to host the round 7 of Formula Renault. And on the next weekend we're going to have the season finale at Formula Renault 2. At the same time, yes, Marina is going to host the race for Formula 1. So the season finale of Formula Arena is going to be not at Netherlands, not at Germany. Of course it's going to be at France because it's a French series, Formula Renault. Well, actually not French, but like European. And it's going to be at Paul Ricard. A nice track for uh, a junior series racing. Probably somebody will say that the races there are boring, but like they're boring only for the Formula One cars, for example, because they are too big for to have a lot of overtakes. But yeah, at least there are more like overtaking zones that at Singapore, for example. At least in South Korea we have two main overtaking spots, and probably the only ones are turn 1 and turn 3. All of them are after the straights. Tesla going for a move with the dive bomb once again, but it's not really effective. As Max Mitter is getting closer to Tesla, not just lap by lap, but also sector by sector. We have 8 laps remaining already. Let's see how good Max is going to be in such a sprint race. As it also would be good for like a scenario for a Cold Masters game. For example, a breaking point or a scenarios we had in 2012 to 2014 F1 games. So I guess it would be a nice scenario. Talking about the games and the Formula 1, yeah, it also can be named sprint race like we had uh, this year at Silverstone, Monza and Interlagos. So I guess Max can activate the Lewis Hamilton mode if he has it. Now he's already just less than a second behind Tesla, and also counting that there is a group of 3 drivers here really close to each other. Armin on P6, Aitken on P7 and Tesla on P8. I guess Smithers can make it up into P6 with 5 laps to go. It's possible because it's Ferrari fighting with cars like Renault, Toro Rosso and Sauber. And yeah, also when I was talking about the season calendar, I forgot to say that the last race is going to be at Interlagos, at this has happened last year. Not last year, like last season. Because I think last year's like for 2020, so I would say it's last season. Or maybe I'm wrong, so yeah. Okay, let's stop the philosophy and get back to racing. So we have a bit more than 5 laps to go. It's a 36 or 41. With the Yuri Gabriel keeping the gap of 8 seconds ahead of Daniel Fraser. Yeah, Yuri has made a mistake in the race already, has spun, but luckily has not lost so much time. Increased the gap, and now he's freely leading the race. I guess it's time to talk about the race review again, as I usually do, like every race. And as every race I say that the race was interesting. Because, well, every race is different, and it can be called interesting, it can be called boring, depending on what you're talking about. Like if you're talking about Singapore, it was boring about because of overtakes, and interesting because of the battle for the win. Uh, because of these interesting tactics by Red Bull and strange tactics by Ferrari. And talking about the Korean Grand Prix, it was absolutely... I was about to say boring, and here comes Victor Aitken straight into the wall, and it looks like Erika Hanebu's accident Control C plus Control C Control V. Okay, yeah, that was absolutely the same moment, losing the rear wing and crashing into the wall. Nothing original. So yeah, I guess I'll continue. So the Korean Grand Prix can be called interesting because of the overtakes, but it can be called boring because of the battle for the race win. As of course, Yuri Gabriel after lap 1 was leading by 10-12 seconds already. So the main intrigue of the race was, and still is, where Max is going to finish. And now he's on P7, as Victor Aitken has crashed, and Jake Dowsley was overtaken by the Welsh driver. And again, it has happened in turn 1. So yeah, also this race can be named interesting because of also some interesting tactics, I think, like a decision of Ferrari to put Max Mitter on 2-pit stop strategy, unlike other drivers who have got damage on the first 5-10 laps, who had 3 pit stops. So Max had 2 stints of like 18-20 laps, and it worked. He's on P7, could have been much higher in the race results, but he has made absolutely the same mistake as Yuri Gabriel, but has lost more time. Talking about the driver of the day, I was about to say that it would be Beethoven, as he has ruined the race for uh, 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 for Mercedes, but we know who has ruined the race for the teammate. It was there was Daniel crashing into Beethoven, into his rear, and as a result, Bate collided with Bertiki, and as a result, the title contender has retired. Let's take a look, and we have Messi on P10. We missed it. And finally, probably these are going to be points for Lotus. Hopefully I'm not going to jinx it as I usually do. So yeah, talking about the driver of the day, I would say, I'm not really sure, but in my opinion, it's Santino Andreoli. Having a good start, making it up into P4, uh, leading the race for 1 lap, then staying on the podium positions for 5 or 10 laps in this race. And he was overtaken by Jafari only because Jafari has a one pit stop strategy, unlike the driver for Renault. Uh, and here comes Max Mitter right behind Vucic. Right behind Vucic. Max is really slow coming into these corners because it's he doesn't want to risk, I think, or just Vucic is too slow. And as I was talking about, there's something like a scenario in the Codemaster's game, and if Max is going to get past Vucic, it's going to be a gold medal won for him. And such an interesting combination of numbers again, as Martinez is 19 seconds and 999 thousandths of a second behind the leader. And here comes the gold medal for Max Mittler in this scenario. Congratulations. I was about to say that's not over yet, but Vucic makes a mistake into the second corner, and Max approaches his gap ahead of Vucic, and it's going to be 15 seconds to Santina for him. We have 3 laps to go. Smithrow gets past Armin, and Gabriel starts lap number 40 of 41. And it looks like Yuri Gabriel had something like a lockup here on the curb. Yes, has locked up his front left tire, but at least he did not spin. And that's good because that was he was really close to the wall on the left side. On the outside, and we have a yellow flag, and it's Vucic Armin, another retirement. Damn, Renault could score a lot of points. And it looks like a Taurus moment with Aitken. And it's going to be a retirement for Vucic Armin. Well, here comes our race leader Yuri Gabriel into the yellow flag zone. But it doesn't matter as he is completing the middle sector, going through the final sector of the Korean track, the Yeongam track, which has brought us a lot of exciting battles today. And Yuri Gabriel is going to be crossing the line and starting the final lap of the race. Armin is down to P12, but because of the crash. And looks like the marshal is just too lazy. Okay, Jeffrey Blackwood runs wide. And here comes Santino Andreoli. It's going to be a nice battle. Jeffrey Blackwood makes an Adityo Bagus moment, like he did in qualifying for 2 times, and as a result he was starting from P16, but he is not going to be finishing the race because he has already retired. Jeffrey Blackwood P4 and Santino Andreoli P5. I guess there is going to be a battle for P4 on the final lap, but I'm not sure. The gap is still like 2 seconds. So Yuri is, yeah, has already started the final lap, already completing the first lap of the first sector, and yes, the advantage ahead of Daniel is 7.5 seconds. Okay, Bush is going to be finished on P3 as he's 30 seconds behind Daniel Fraser. Then 12 seconds behind Abush is going to be Blackwood, who is trying to defend from Santino in the final laps. The gap is 1.3, still more than 1 second. So basically no overtake is going to happen. Here comes Yuri Gabriel completing the middle sector, and he starts the final sector of the race. Yeah, that was an interesting race, an interesting rainy race. Sometimes we've got boring races, even if it was raining, but it doesn't matter. Here comes Yuri Gabriel, the Brazilian for Red Bull, and he is going to be crossing the line and winning the Korean Grand Prix as Red Bull is going to be getting closer to Ferrari in the battle for the Constructors' Championship. Dave Fraser is finishing second, and it's going to be Aboch on third. Martinez is going to be on P10, Toss P11. Armin is still here, and Blackwood is defending from Santino Andrea. Now it's less than a second, but just one sector to go, and it's going to be really difficult to overtake here, as there are no corners with a fast braking, with a high braking, yeah. And here comes the Ferrari Blackwood to finish the race on 4th position, with Santino Andrea finishing 5th. Or it's not over yet. Is it going to be a photo finish? No, it's not. Or it is... No, it's not, but still such a close finish. Max Mittler, after making a mistake, losing P5, and maybe even on P4, is going to finish on P6. From P9 to P6, that's the results of his sprint race, I would say. Jake Tessie is on P7, Samatowski on P8, Lionel Messi points for Lotus, he's going to be finishing on P9. On P10 we have the lap Rosetta Martinez, and on P11 it's going to be Fernando Tost. That's it for the race, and we're going to be listening to the national anthems of Brazil and Austria really soon. Okay, now the full race results. Here Gabriel win the race, uh, another win for him in his Formula 1 career. Second is going to be Daniel Fraser, then Abovic Blackwood, Andrea Mittler, Matthias Oskan, Messi Martinez, and that's it for top 10 outside of the best 10 drivers of the race. We have Fernando Tost and Vucharmin, Victor Aitken. Actually, Vucharmin was the last driver who retired, but he has got classified as he completed uh, more than 75% of the race, I think. Or even... Okay, doesn't matter. Then we have Victor Aitken, uh, Adam Hidet with the lost wheel, Darbus Daniel with an engine failure. Sorry, Alexander Arnold has got an engine failure. Then Colin Chapman, Aditya Bagus, Emil Nilsson, Erko Hanebus, Beethoven, and Bertie Kiestin. All these 6 drivers retired because of the crash. About the drivers' fastest laps, it's going to be the fastest lap for Daniel Fraser, not Yuri Gabriel. So one additional point for Daniel and for Ferrari. Now it's time to start listening to the national anthems, and the first one is going to be the national anthem of Brazil. And now the national anthem of Austria. Well, that's all for today. Thanks for watching. I wish you a good afternoon, a good evening, a good night, and see you next time at Brno for round 7 of Formula Renault. And goodbye.